Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Rainmaking Time. This is Kim Greenhouse. It gives me great pleasure to welcome back the Feng Shui Lady. Angi Ma Wong was one of the people responsible for bringing Feng Shui to America. She has written Feng Shui books and children's books. She has also written about Barack Obama. She has assisted businesses in how to do business with China. Today we are discussing Angi's new book, A Survivor's Secrets to Health and Happiness, her 27th book title. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Angi Ma Wong, to It's Rainmaking Time. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Kim.
Well, the first thing I want to ask you about is you're a cancer survivor of over 20 years.
I am a 4-time, 22-year cancer survivor.
Wow. What does that mean?
Well, it means that when I was diagnosed in 1989, I was pretty scared. And cancer treatment has changed tremendously in 2 decades plus. Before it was one size fits all, and we were cancer victims, and mortality was short, or we were not expected to live. And now we have advanced so much in research that we know so much more. And cancer treatments now are becoming more customized and personalized. We have over 12 million survivors. This month, on June the 5th, was National Cancer Survivors Month, and we have over 12 million cancer survivors in the United States. But, on the other hand, every year, 11 million people in the United States are newly diagnosed, including 150,000 children.
I don't want you to be offended when I say what I'm about to say, because you're a beloved guest on this show and I adore you personally and I love what you do for a living and I so much appreciate your writing and your books. But I am angry that after 100 years, the medical establishment hasn't figured out a way to not either burn or poison people with chemotherapy and radiation, and that we haven't really transcended the paradigm yet. However, let's talk about the upside of why you're at least a 22-year cancer survivor.
Sure. I'm not offended, and I think that we have made great strides from the scientific side of it. But on the other side, one thing has changed tremendously is that people have sought what we call alternative with some success. Alternative means replacement therapy or treatments. But I have embraced something called complementary or integrated, and that's what my book stresses is Western and Eastern medicine working in concert with each other.
One of the things that I found out about most recently is hyperbaric oxygen therapy for getting rid of inflammation and also for expediting healing. And what I found out is that with cancer patients, it really helps them heal from radiation sickness and helps speed the success of the treatments. Have you heard about it?
No, I haven't, but I do know that walking on the beach and being by salt water gives me the same effect, and I don't have to, just breathing in the salt air and salt water just helps healing, and that's what I think it's the same principle.
It's definitely not 100% oxygen in your body, but I did hear that walking on the beach really helps you.
Right, and they use that treatment for burn patients. They pump in this, high oxidation, air that has a lot of ions in it, and pump it into treatment rooms for burn patients. This has been used for quite some time. Is it the same? I don't know. I'm sorry.
No problem. I know it's not the same, but I know that what you're describing is very helpful for people. What made you write this new book?
Well, Kim, after being around for 22 years and learning a lot, I had a whole huge collection of information, and new things are always coming out, which is very exciting to me. I pick up a magazine, I pick up newsletters from different organizations and different companies, and I see new things. And I wanted to make people aware in very palatable, someone called it bite-size information to help people think. I think that's the main thing. It was to help people think and also to remind them what they could do. They could be very proactive in their health and in their happiness.
One of the things I loved about your new book is that not only is it really practical, there's a lot of neat nuggets of information in there that you can use every day, and also a lot of wisdom. So not only do you present updated facts and things that were newly discovered that work, but the way that you presented it also brings wisdom and a spiritual component to it. Very digestible. I agree with you.
Oh, thank you so much. I tried to make it easy for people to remember. That was one thing. There was nothing worse than picking up a book on cancer, post-cancer care or nutrition or something, which is 4 inches thick and weighs 4 pounds, and you can't take it with you. People are very busy these days. A book is great. It's something that they don't read online and then forget about it. A book you can still have, right at your side. You can keep it in your car. You can put it in a bag and read it on the beach or on the plane or, when you're waiting in line at the grocery store. And that's what I liked about it, is to put it in a format that people could read it and have it, I remember that, but let me go back to Angie's book and see, what she said about that. But people ask me, what are some simple things I can do about, losing weight, for example, or keeping healthy? And so that's why they were bite-sized. Each little chapter is, some of them are only a page and a half long, or 2 or 3 pages. Some chapters a little bit longer. But I think that's why it appeals to so many people, everyone who picks it up and everyone who's been a recipient of it. I get some very, very common compliments and comments about the way it's formatted, and people like that very much.
You do a lot of your own publishing. You're also a publisher, aren't you?
I am.
Which really allows you to say it the way you want and also to lay it out the way that you want. Your books are really inviting. I have 3 of your Feng Shui books. I love them, both the pocket-sized ones and the regular books. I thought it was neat that in this new book that you also talked about dirty electricity. You talked about when to eat what at each meal. I thought that was very interesting. The French talk a lot about that.
Mm-hmm. Salad at the end instead of in the beginning.
Why?
Yes. Why? Because the protein takes longer to digest. And so the salads and the vegetables in the salad, especially the salads, have a lot of water and it has a lot of fiber. And so it really helps the plumbing in your system. So here's your protein. It's like a big wad there, just sitting, a big mass in your intestinal system and digestive system. And then, but if you follow it up with, instead of interspersed with at the beginning of your meal, it actually, the fiber actually, is like a freight train, kind of pushing things out, pushing throughout of your plumbing. And that's, and it works. I mean, it's just one thing. The thing about fruits, people like to eat fruit. Some people like it with their meals. So if you have a fruit salad at meals, for example, at my Rotary Club, very often we have a salad with fruits in that, berries, mangoes, mandarin, orange slices, walnuts.
You're making me hungry talking
Oh, no.
about
and those, a lot of fiber. And so I always eat the protein. That's one of the tips in the book, is to eat your protein first. I mean, sure, you can eat your cooked veggies too, but at the end, just like the French do, eat your salad at the end. And so you always have that fiber at the end. Okay, it's interspersed, if you eat with your protein during the meal, but at the end. And then food combining is huge. It's a huge thing, and it works. It's easy, you know. You notice that just in the news over the weekend, the new nutrition, the new nutrition pyramid the old nutrition pyramid has been replaced by the new plate, quote unquote, right? And half of your plate should be fruit and vegetables, and the other, one fourth should be proteins, and the other fourth should be carbohydrates, and then off to the side, every meal you should have some kind of dairy. And the combination is easy to remember. Just remember that meat and potatoes, which is easy to people, they kind of go together and people hear about it a lot. So meat and potatoes is the worst combination. So what's the best combination? The remaining two combinations, which is a protein with a vegetable, but don't have a carbohydrate with it, or the vegetables with the carbs. So you can have vegetables with your carbs or vegetables with your proteins, but don't add, the pasta, the rice, the potatoes, because that combination is just, it's just very hard to digest, and then the way they combine, it's just not healthy.
Can I ask you a couple of secrets about Asian cultures?
Okay, I'll try to answer them.
I know that you had talked about in your book that the Japanese take a couple of glasses of warm water upon waking. Is that correct?
Yes, but that's not only Japanese, and even in China they do. They say a cup of water, but I like those, those travel mugs that the size of a travel mug is 16 ounces.
Okay.
The 8 ounces is a cup, right?
Right.
No, I don't do much cooking, but one of those travel mugs, those tall ones that you take out to your car with your coffee or...
Sure. So even before you have your coffee...
Exactly. You get up in the morning, the first thing is you do...
Hydrate.
Right. Warm water. No, not hot, not boiling, just something warm. And the first thing that does is to stimulate your internal plumbing. It's great. So my habit, and this is very easy for a lot of people, you get up, you drink your water. Okay, you go to the kitchen, you boil your water, or maybe you have an instant hot water, feature in your faucet, filtered water or whatever. Drink this 16 ounces of warm liquid. All right. And then you go about, go and get dressed, brush your teeth, do whatever you need to do. I go for my walk right after I drink my water and take my vitamins first thing. And then I come back an hour later, and then I have my breakfast. And boy, I tell you, it's wonderful because, I had an aunt and an uncle, both who were physicians. They were married couple, and they told me the same thing. First thing in the morning, just drink warm, a 16-ounce glass or more. And so it could, now it could be, now what I do is that's when I drink my turmeric tea. And turmeric is, a cancer, the spice of turmeric has been known, and you read about it all over the internet. And the researchers found that turmeric, the spice turmeric, which is used a lot in Indian cooking.
Yeah, I take bio-curcumin from Life Extension Foundation, which is 7 times more absorbable than traditional turmeric, but you're right. It totally helps cancer patients and other people around the world.
Absolutely. And also, I just had recently read earlier this year in the Los Angeles Times in the health, in the health section they put out once a week, wonderful article. Actually, it was an article. It was a thank you note to the editor, the health editor of the LA Times. Someone said that this person had neuropathy, which is nerve pain in her arms and feet or whatever, and she had heard about this. I guess it was a previous article or a feature about the turmeric, and she started using it, and all her the nerve pain, just disappeared.